Live from the Export Beer Garden Studio, this is The Agenda for February the 10th.
The Agenda, an alternative commentary collective podcast.
G'day there and welcome along to The Agenda podcast. Myself, G Lane and Matt Heath. G'day, Matt.
So good to be here, G Lane, my dump buddy.
Yeah, well, look, I was going to say you've got a bit of a sweat up in the studio. Studio's very cool. We've got we keep the studio at 18 degrees at all time because when we have commentaries, we usually have a lot of big humans in one small space. So we have the aircon on, but you are sweating. You've got a beads coming off your forehead.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, G Lane, I went out for a coffee with you and you got me an Americano with cream and you said, dude, that's going to go straight through you, and it did.
Well, I don't know. I didn't quite know the volume of an Americano with cream. Basically, a soup bowl of black caffeine enema came out, sat in front of you, and then a big, thick cream jug.
I thought it might have been you in Gate 2, and it'll be one of the greatest. It was really one of the greatest regrets of my life that I didn't go, is that you, G Lane? From Gate 1?
I was just finishing up because I'd taken a couple of caffeine pills given to me, which went straight through me as well. And so I was just finishing up, and I heard someone in deep distress from the two gates over. And it was one of the ones I was like, they sound like they're in so much trouble that I can't actually acknowledge them. And then
a friend would have called 911, or just a responsible citizen would have asked for some help. At least fired up the defibrillator.
Well, I used to have, in radio, I used to have a dump buddy. His name was Dave Farnay. The great Dave Farnay. And he was working at Flavour at the time. And for whatever reason, at 20 to 8, every morning, he would have to go to the toilet. And it would be the same for me. I'd have a coffee. And every morning, we would sit next to each other in the stalls. And we were dump buddies.
Dump buddy.
And we were dump buddies, and we used to chat between the stalls. And even now, I see Dave, and we haven't been dump buddies for about 10 years. But still, I saw him at the Warriors, and he shouted across the lounge at the Warriors, the TAB lounge. He just goes, "Dump buddy!" And I was like, I looked at him, and it was like slow motion. We came together, and we embraced. And I was like, "I miss your scent." He goes, "I miss your scent. I miss the smell. I can't. The mornings aren't the same for me."
Oh man, Dave Farnay, one of the great New Zealanders. Hey, speaking of bowel movements, I'm absolutely shitting myself about what England are bringing to New Zealand and what New Zealand's bringing to the pink ball test.
Yeah, there's just a big dick confidence that's swinging around with that English team. They won it 9 out of their last 10. They've come to New Zealand, they're having fun, they're laughing, they're playing jokes on each other at Queenstown Airport.
They've booked Airbnb holidays together after the Test series.
I mean, some guy in the New Zealand 11 game hit 5 sixes off 6 balls in a night. They're taking the piss.
Yeah.
And I haven't even heard of the guy who hit the 5 sixes.
So a united England, it's never been like that. It's always been factions, class factions.
A couple of South Africans they hate in there, like Peterson and Strauss.
And Root used to be sort of picked on, but now he's sort of confident. Yeah. You've got Ben Stokes and Baz McCullum who are basically married.
Yeah,
it's
Mark
problematic.
Woods, who's bowling 150.
The annoying thing is that's what Baz did for us. He brought the team together and made them a bunch of cocky, we don't care, we're going to go for it, we love each other, we're going to fuck you up, whatever you keep bringing us, we don't care. Well, maybe we'll win, maybe we'll lose, who cares, we just have a good time, we just love cricket,
we'll go play
the game.
We'll go play golf, drink a bottle of red wine.
It's a good time, it's just cricket, it's a good time, there's no pressure. And we used to be that.
Yeah, motherfuckers.
And then Baz, he's taking it over there.
I know, yes. But there was a warm-up game. The English had a warm-up game against the New Zealand 11. And I don't know if you listen to the BYC podcast, the ACC BYC podcast, Jason Hoyt,
podcast.
Paul Ford, and Dylan Cleaver. And we used to do this to Jason Hoyt all the time at Hodaki. We used to give him names that didn't exist, and he'd read them out like Anchorman. He would just...
Well, one of the most famous ones is reading out the lineup for, what was that festival? Laneways, yeah. It was Laneways. And just swapped the columns, so he was reading out the food that was on.
The food trucks,
food trucks.
He goes, and on stage 2, Lucky Taco. Fatima's. He goes, Fatima's headlining on stage 1.
Hell Pizza will be performing a headlining spot. It's like, mate.
Anyway, so...
Thanks, mate.
Let me just throw this out there and see if you can pick the name that they stitched him up with. Now, I don't know about you, Matt Heath, but I haven't heard of a Theo Van work from home.
No. The funny thing about Jason Hoyt is he would never accept that he doesn't know absolutely everything about cricket.
Oh, no. He always agrees with Dylan. Totally agree, Dylan.
100%.
Totally.
Whatever you said, Dylan, I'd like to agree to all of it over the next 5 years in advance.
And in the same podcast, maybe Jason was having a stroke. I don't know. In the same podcast, he was trying to get his tongue around Shivnarine Chandapal's son and ended up calling him Tangerine Chandapal. So yeah,
that doesn't sound right.
Listen to him try and say his name. So he had a hell of a time.
He hasn't done
He
that.
had a hell of a time.
No,
so anyway, Bazball starts next Thursday or next Friday.
Wow.
I think down in pink ball to start off with as well. We've gone 0 to 100.
Yeah.
We're going pink ball test match at the Bay Oval. Big swinging Dick Bazball versus bigger swinging Dick Southey, swinging Southey.
Yeah.
God, it's good to have cricket back.
What's the relationship between Southey and Gary Steady the ship?
Professional?
Yeah, because I know, are they out on the rinse constantly like Stokesy and McCullum?
No.
Are they?
No.
Because I remember
Different characters.
I knew that the that the English cricket team was going to start to be. I was interviewing, I think it was Andrew Alderson, and he was over in England, and he saw Ben Stokes and Baz McCullum walk past the window of the restaurant he was at, just hanging out together, not related to cricket.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh no, when a coach and a captain form a buddy bond. Look at Mike Hesson and Baz McCullum. It's very, very different.
Yeah. I mean, look at Dan Vittori when he was captain, coach, and manager for a while there during the late 90s.
Never has a management team loved themselves so much.
He was selector as well.
Yeah.
I think he had a manager. That's unfair. He was selector, coach, and captain.
Yeah,
for a while there.
He had an accountant and a manager, but apart from that, he was doing 100% of everything.
Hey, good news though, the ACC will be covering all of the home test matches and one-dayers against England and Sri Lanka on Spark Sport. So that's all go from next week. So you just get onto Spark Sport and you'll see us as an option. Jump on there. We're going to give Spark Sport a good farewell, Matt Heath.
Yeah.
We're going to give them a good farewell on this summer of cricket. So tune in. And a little bit of controversy coming out of India. Did you see the pitch they played on against Australia?
Yeah, we're entering a world where what happens in India doesn't matter, and maybe it needs to be taken out of the records. It's sort of seen as they're games and they're fun, and you go to India and maybe you get spotted by like an IPL, blah, 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 whatever. But they shouldn't be put on the record of wins and losses.
But the thing is, no one's prepared to go on record. Because everyone's just absolutely crapping themselves because they've got the purse. The purse is open. It's like a Venus flytrap.
Yeah.
And you can help yourself to the money.
Yeah.
But as soon as you say, shut.
Yeah, that's right.
Your hand's gone. They'll cut off your hand.
Yeah, and that goes for everyone, commentators.
Oh, God.
Coaches that might, come out and say something full on at the end of a game. They're like, well, maybe I'll get an IPL contract down the road and maybe, I get a job over there. And then players not going to say shit.
Yeah, it's a bit
and also even like your New Zealand cricket's not going to say anything because they need the sweet pennies of the Indian when they sprinkle a few crumbs of an Indian tour down here.
Go. Woo. Also, I mean, it's pretty similar to kind of football and Qatar and Saudi Arabia at the moment, who are just buying up teams, and they're like, "Wow, we know it's a bit shit, but it's kind of." But you see the latest little bit of controversy coming out as well. Jadeja with the dodgy little kind of gets some sort of substance on his finger. He gets past some substance from the man at mid-on.
Yeah. And
then he rubs it on his fingers. It must be some sort of adhesive or something to allow his either fingers or the ball to be a bit stickier so he can get more revolutions on it. Like this is all an assumption from me.
Yeah.
Watch the video yourself on our Instagram, the ACC NZ. Watch it yourself and you can make your own conclusion. This is my conclusion.
Yeah.
That it is a non-natural substance because you're allowed to use natural substances on the ball. Sweat.
So that means sweat, earwax, semen,
anything. But
fecal matter.
This doesn't seem
toe
like
jam,
correct. All of that.
cheese.
If it comes out of an orifice, you can put it on the ball.
Yeah.
But this doesn't seem like it's a legit natural substance. So have a look for yourself, but also watch the video. And the real crime for me is Jadeja's high pony. You used to run a high pony.
Yeah.
This one's a high pony undercut.
Yeah.
It's an actual crime.
Yeah, I mean, are they doing anything about that, though? Either crime?
No.
No.
No, they're probably more likely to address the high pony.
The high pony,
the doctoring.
Right, I think 3-match ban.
I'd go more than that. I would go double that. I'd go 6 at least. Yeah.
6 match
I
ban.
think someone needs to crack down on the high pony. And it's a disgusting high pony. It's not a Gareth Bale high pony.
Yeah.
There's nothing hot about it.
Yeah.
It's a bit scrappy. That's all. Anyway, that's cricket for now. Rugby. Razor.
Yeah.
Razor.
What a tease.
He is the biggest. Is he the biggest cock teaser ever?
Yeah. So
he should work in radio. Like him forward selling stuff. His skill at forward selling is next level.
So there's going to be. It's like one of those people that people post this on social media all the time. Some big news.
Big news.
Can't tell you now, but big news. It's like, well, wait till you've got the fucking. It's not news until. Those are the most annoying social media posts. Or I'm just not very happy today. I can't tell you why, but like you're trying to get some hype. It's like. Okay, so is he going to be the All Blacks coach and is he going to announce it in 2 weeks, or is he going to announce that he's not going to be the All Blacks coach? That both would be big news. Or is he going to announce that he's going to coach Zimbabwe or Sri Lankan rugby teams?
Sri Lanka, they're not bad.
Sri Lankan,
they
love rugby.
Rugby. But look, whatever it is, I really want him to be coach. Obviously, Ian Foster, he's leaving after this World Cup. I think that's a given. There's going to be a new All Black coach. Even if they win the World Cup, I don't think Fozzie's going to stick around. He would be so much fun.
Yeah.
If this is anything to go by in terms of not listening to advice from either the rugby union or the comms people, it's going to be a hell of a ride, and it's going to be great to watch.
Yeah, and I think the rugby union don't quite understand that they're in the entertainment business and that the public have to love the coach and find the coach interesting and enjoy the players. They've decided that if they serve up the most sterile, cleaned up product with no edges or anything sticky for it, no adhesive stickiness for people to grab onto to get some purchase on their fandom of the game, then you're going to get what you're getting now, which is less people going to games and less people watching.
And let's look at the example of Baz McCullum as a coach.
Yeah. That's right. Get a freaking personality in there.
So I think he's going to get it, but I think he's getting frustrated probably with the comms around it, and I can't blame him. He's been yo-yoing. Like he also said, he was almost 10 days away from preparing for a test match, only having 10 days to prepare for a test match. So he's obviously got told at that stage, look, if we're going to bone Fozzie, if he loses this game, we're boning Fozzie, you're in. And then they won the game, and they had to backtrack. We didn't expect
but imagine
that.
if New Zealand cricket has, when Ross Taylor got boned and then he had some success against Sri Lanka, if they'd just gone back the other way.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that would have been bizarre.
And probably the biggest mistake New Zealand cricket ever made. If they did that.
It would have been massive. But, just to say to someone that, just actually they stuck up. They said, we know this is the right thing to do. Yeah. We need to get this captain in. They know that the right thing to do is have this coach in. But what do you think it is? Is it because, I guess everyone's friends, everyone's the club.
I reckon they're mildly terrified of him.
Yeah,
I think there is. What he'll do or say.
Because he'll be like, no. Because, in his first game for the All Blacks, he was handing out advice to senior All Blacks. Apparently, he's just understood the game for so long. Ray, he was going up to people that have been in the team for 10, 12 years and going, your head's a bit high when you're going into that. And normally you should be out the back with a broom handle up your ass at that stage. But he's just Razor Robinson. So as if he's going to listen to the rugby union when they say this, or as you say, the comms people.
Yeah.
You cannot be drunk as fuck on a Segway whipping around the Black Clash. He'll be like, yes, I can.
Yeah, no. Every year they roll him out and he just runs a dance competition, and the crowd fucking love him.
They freaking love him. Oh. Have we ever had a coach? People love Ted now.
Yeah.
They love Ted.
Because now he's just like everyone's granddad.
Yeah,
okay?
And he, 2011.
I won a World Cup, okay?
Farted through, won the World Cup in 2011.
Beaver helped me slightly.
And then me and Raywin have been on the whites ever since.
And then
drinking a lot of wine.
I was involved in the Black Ferns. We had a party at my house. I may have given someone a wristwatch.
Yeah, but apart from that, who was the coach before that
Oh, there was John Mitchell. There was all sorts before that.
But John Mitchell, we had a love affair for a while, and then the most hatred ever.
And then he got a bit weird on it. And there was Laurie Maines. Oh, he was a real Weet-Bix of a coach.
Grizz Wiley, were you a fan of Grizz Wiley?
I love Grizz Wiley ever since I saw that video of him when he was coaching Canterbury. And back in the days, it was a Ramfleet Shield game, and the footage is some of the best footage you'd ever see. It was when all the crowd were just about on the field, and he was walking through the crowd to go on the half-time to talk to the team, and someone grabbed his shoulder, and he turned around, boom, just knocked the guy out and carried on walking. I was like, fuck, I love that.
I respect that.
That was old school.
I respect
Wiley.
that.
Then there was Laurie Maines. There was John Hart. Remember
John Hart? Yeah. So
he was a more.
Did everyone even love him?
No, but they hated him.
Yeah, they hated him.
People were spitting
so
on
I'm
him.
saying like Grizz Wiley was a character, he's called Grizz Wiley, character. You got Laurie Maines. But I'm just thinking, there's never been anything like Razor.
No. Oh no.
Where people would be behind the coach.
Globally, there's no one in rugby like Razor. There's no like just the breakdancing is just the start of it.
We basically, as a nation, had a rolling orgasm for Richie McCaw that's still going for so long.
I'm still climaxing.
He kept his personality out of the whole situation. Yeah. So we're looking at a situation where the coach has more personality than everyone who has played the game or coached the game in the entire history of the game.
Well, there's one character who has retired. I don't think he's retiring at the end of this season, who I don't think we got full value out in terms
Runny
of...
Bum.
Yeah, in terms of media. On field, Dane Coles, the Runny Bum. On field, that guy does not shut the fuck up on the field. And some of it's actually quite funny when you get it picked up on the ref's mic. The commentary we've done on All Blacks games in Super Rugby, you can just hear the motherfucker. He is in that ref's ear the whole time. Like, I reckon he's worse. He's almost up there with Aaron Smith.
Well, he says a terrible thing, and then people just go, if a player hits him, then just people will go, well, yes, Dane Coles, he probably said something freaking terrible.
That's right, when the Pablo Montero, when
everyone was like, I kind of get it. I can see why he was angry. He would have said it's something horrific.
Yeah, it was a press conference after that game, and someone said, do you know what happened between Pablo Montero and Dane Coles? And he goes, and I think remember then something going, it's Dane Coles. He probably deserved it.
Yeah, I've got a theory that might be controversial on this idea of running front rowers. I think everyone's got excited and they think that that's the idea, that you are the runny bum and you have a bit of pace
and
you're scoring tries and you're doing all the stuff. When what you need to be doing is not worrying about your pace, but you need to be dirty bulking.
Dirty bulking, you reckon?
Dirty bulking, just becoming the biggest piece of steak you can and just having weight.
Are you talking about tight head prop and loose head though? You're just
and
talking
prop.
And hooker. So you're talking all three.
Both props and the hooker.
Thing is, with a hooker, you need to be, and this is my theory, and it's got no scientific backing of it whatsoever, is the fact that I think a hooker has to be mildly trimmer and more athletic, because I'm not saying that props can't do this, but you've got to throw the ball in, and you've got to lift your hands above your head and put them together, and you've got to, I think you've got to have a bit more about you than in terms of ball skills.
I'm not saying to a ridiculous level, but I think hookers have got excited and thought that they're on the back line.
Yeah,
and I think that obviously you've got to be able to lift your hands above your head. That would be crazy. But I just think you need to be more of a slow moving monster.
Do you reckon? But I love the. I don't know what it is. I love the shit out of Takiaho, and Amur. Like they're guys that have got just as much pace as the centre.
Yeah, I don't like
as the midfield. You don't like it? I love
it. I don't like it that I don't like that they're thinking of that as an option. I think that means I think you got to have just one focus.
It gives people who are carrying a bit of weight hope. And I like it. I like your theory around the 1 and 3, tight and loose head prop. I think they should be.
Well, they have to become even bigger monsters to deal with the. If you get a monster in the middle, you're going to need. I mean, basically, there's a massive tight head prop shortage in this country.
Yeah,
worldwide. I think it's because everyone does it. Like, there's just a general idea that we're going to play expansive rugby across the whole park.
Yeah,
and so no one's going to go, I'm going to dirty bulk and be in the front row.
What's your favourite runny bum moment? Mine has to be him stepping on the inside of that Bledisloe Cup match, stepping two backs and just score. Like, his tries were always great to watch, the runny bum.
My favourite moment is one that I didn't see on the field, but it's sort of, I'm getting through back channels, and it was him asking the question, within the team, why does the ACC call me the runny bum? And what I love about that is because the answer isn't straightforward. Jeremy just thought he looked like a picture of a 1930s bum. There was something about his face, and I think it was just a picture that only Jerry had ever seen of some kind of bum with one of those satchels over his back. It was like Jerry had some kind of cute elitist painting in his house growing up in Remuera of a friendly bum, and it just was reminiscent of Dane Cole. And then we were like, Colesy, he's fast, so he's not just the bum. He's the runny bum.
Yeah, but it originally started as the running bum.
Yeah,
like running
right.
as in physically running. And then it got shortened to just runny bum. So now...
if you're a guy that gives a lot of shit to people and abuses people, and then you find out that you're getting called the runny bum, so you're like a bum. You're like a homeless person, and but also you're shitting your pants. It's like...
I think...
And so he just couldn't accept it. And even if we had, because a Please Explain was reached out to our team.
Yes.
Why? Dane Coles wants to know why he's called the running bum.
We could have, actually, I'm sure some of the team members could have said you called the runny bum because a lot of shit comes out of you.
Yeah. And
a lot of shit talk comes out of your mouth, so you called the runny bum.
That would have made sense.
Yeah.
But the origin of the nickname was so bizarre. And so...
you know what the best thing is, though? He's was spotted also in a gym. And the year Kieran Reid got all of the ACC nicknames put on their backs of their training jerseys for a court session, and he was seen on a on a MILF burner in a gym with running bum on his back. And a friend of mine said, "Why has Dane Coles got running bum on the back of his training jersey?"
Well, maybe he grew fond of it.
Yeah, maybe. Look, he's probably the kind of guy. He seems like a guy you really want on your team.
Yeah.
If you're playing against them, you want to punch him in the face, and that's what Pablo Matera wanted to do. But always good to. And he played 86 tests for the All Blacks. Do
you think I've been thinking about this question for a while? Do you think if David Warner was a New Zealander and played on our team and behaved exactly as he does, whether we'd back him? Because
we back Glenn Phillips.
Yeah, we back. That was the name I was going to raise. Because there isn't a world apart between Glenn Phillips and Davey Dum Dum in terms of behaviour on the field.
I see what you're saying. If David Warner didn't exist and we had Glenn Phillips, would we be endeared to him? Would we just think he's a bit of a dick, or now we just say no, he's a bit like David Warner?
I see what you're saying. So because the similarities, David Warner make us.
Kind of,
as much as we love him, we can see Captain Phillips as something a little bit, you know?
Yeah, or not. I don't know. I don't know whether Warner's...
But I just wonder how far, because I've liked some pretty shitty people because they play for New Zealand, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you have to. It's the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to like the... I'm not going to go through names.
Yeah, I know. That's something you can't even go through the names. They're all coming to mind. But, and also we love... Like, okay, here's another... Here's another... example, the Energizer Bunny. You know, like just coming in shorter and shorter and shorter, just right into the fucking head.
Yeah, Yeah. Wagner.
Yeah, like if he was an Australian any other, or an English, we'd be like, stop fucking bowling those shit short deliveries, you fucking little shit. But because he's in New Zealand, we're like, he's the Energizer Bunny.
He keeps on going.
He's got, look at the heart on the man. He must be so fit. And then he's abusing and he's eyeballing people after bowling 120 kilometre an hour bouncer down the leg side for the 50th time in a row. And we're like, we love him. Yeah. He's the best of us.
It's a 5'10" South African. Yeah. Steaming in of about 60 metres.
He's our 5'10" South African. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? We would hate him.
Yeah, that's
true. But we love him.
Yeah, love is blind. Basketball. NBA, LeBron James becomes the #1 all-time scoring leader. I don't know if you saw, I saw it so much on social media. Yeah. Did you see when he scored the points, every motherfucker in that stadium was standing up recording it on their phones?
I know.
It should have had a cell phone ban for that game, just because I actually was like, really? And it seemed like everyone was just here for that moment. Oh, maybe that's all right, maybe it isn't. For me, it just looked a bit shit.
Yeah,
good on him, though.
My neighbour had an interesting phone-related incident. He was driving along, watching for that moment on Sky Sports on his phone while he was driving in the car, and he drove into a bush.
Like a tree bush, or not a woman?
Not a woman. No, I would never call a woman a bush. He drove into a woman. No, he drove into a tree, like a bush. But it was good because it was just sort of a macrocarpa.
Macrocarpa?
Yeah.
Like how big? That's not a bush. A macrocarpa tree. Like that's
like a macrocarpa on the way up.
Oh, like a seedling or something.
Yeah, it's on the way up. It was hoping to be a feature part of someone's front.
He'll never forget that moment, and he took that moment in. That's why I say all these people with the phones. It's like, just enjoy the fucking moment instead of watching it through your fucking phone.
Yeah.
I sound like a boomer.
I was in Los Angeles when Kobe's last game.
Yeah.
And
did you record the entire thing on your phone?
Well, no. I was watching it at downtown Disney. You know, downtown Disney, that whole city that's around Disneyland. And there was this huge screen up, and there was everyone there. And heaps of the fuckwits were filming that off the fucking screen. So you're in the city that it's happening, but you're at a bar. Well, how much time are you going to spend watching the footage of the screen of the last game?
I ask a lot of questions when I see people there and goes, when are you going to watch that again?
Yeah.
And who's going to watch it with you?
Yeah.
And usually the answer is you'll do it on your own and no one will ever watch it with you because you're a loser.
I don't think you'd ever watch it, would you?
No, fuck. Well, I wouldn't. I'd never record it in the first place. It's the same with concerts. Just enjoy the goddamn concert for fuck's sake.
Just following up from your boomer comment, how do you feel that they ended the game for 10 minutes once they scored those points with 10 seconds to go in the end of the third quarter for a massive celebration? How do you feel about them stopping the entire game for 10 minutes to celebrate?
I don't mind that because that's what they did with Richard Hadley. He got 400 test wickets. They stopped the test match and presented him with 400 roses.
Yeah.
And the other team were like, I think, was it Sri Lanka or India? I don't know who it was. But they were like, what's going on here? And he went to the sideline and a whole lot of kids came out with 400 roses. It was so...
And apparently it was a huge controversy at the time. Like, it almost overshadowed the 400 wickets, didn't it?
Yeah, and we've set the precedent. So the LA Lakers stopping the game.
Yeah,
LeBron James. We've set the international precedent with Richard Hadley. So I'm sure they took note of that.
Fault.
I'm sure the LA Lakers management.
I love how American sports so about the numbers. You know, everyone knows everything is a thing, and they bring it in, they hype it up, and
then there's a big debate now: is he the greatest of all time, or is it still MJ?
Well, the thing is with basketball, there's so many unnecessary games.
So many.
So you can stop a game of basketball. There's about 1 million too many games.
And 1 million too many timeouts as well.
Yeah.
Especially at the end.
They don't give a fuck about stopping a game in America.
The last 3 minutes of an NBA game usually takes around 25 minutes.
What about the last 2 minutes of a Super Bowl?
Oh, my God. Super Bowl, though, that's a great segue into our next topic, Super Bowl. Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, that's an exciting game. I'm all on the Eagles.
I'm all on the Chiefs. Chiefs mana.
Birds going to war. Birds of war.
Birds of war versus
the Birds
versus Chiefs mana. And I tell you what, like if you're listening to this podcast either before the Super Bowl, text wings to 3236 because the TAB are giving out free buckets of wings.
So the TAB have gone hard on the Eagles.
They got hard, they're giving away Eagles wings.
Eagles, but are they Eagles wings?
No, they're not. They're definitely chicken wings. So just go on there, go 3236, text wings. It got a link there. We'll take you to our website and you register. But while stocks last, I don't think they've got a few thousand, so get stuck into it. But we are going to be at the Sweatshop Brew Kitchen.
Yeah, I'm excited about this.
300 plus people. That is unofficially the biggest Super Bowl party in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Hopefully the cyclone doesn't fucking ruin it, but I'm sure it won't. But from 12:30 there, we're going to be getting amongst it.
Are you going to go in head to toe green lycra with white socks and black Vans?
No, I'm going to go in full Waikato Chiefs.
Oh yeah,
kit.
Right.
Okay, full Chiefs, mate.
It's an interesting game because Patrick Mahomes is he's fated to be the greatest of all time. I mean, obviously Brady's going to be a hard one to knock off, but I feel like he's going to shit the bed in this game.
Do you?
Yeah, I just because he's just that kind of guy. He's amazing, and it was really annoying how he, even with a busted right foot, he still managed to. In fact, he was better when he wasn't running around like an idiot.
Concrete feet.
Just being in the pocket.
Break both his
It just
feet.
meant that he could, because he can throw the ball at pace in any angle, and when he was just restricted his running around a little bit, he was so good. But I'm all in on Jalen Hurts. Come on, Eagles, let's go. I just want Patrick Mahomes to not get it. To not be that.
Well, you can put your money where your mouth is, Matt Heath also, because if you place a $10 bet on the Super Bowl, any of it, you'll get an automatic $10 bonus bet. So if you can put $10 on your Eagles to come through, and you'll get a $10 extra bet to maybe put something on Mahomes not getting a touchdown or Mahomes going off injured.
Oh, put a lot of money on that.
So that's with the TAB. But wide on of the week for you, Matt Heath. Anything giving you a wide on in the world of sport in the last 7 days?
You know what? No.
No? Not even the ACC Open that we played in at Pupuki?
No.
It was tough. I must admit, it was tough out there.
I've made some great inroads into golf because I'm pretty shit. I've only been playing for about a year.
It's one of those games.
But I just couldn't even fucking hit the ball. And look, I want to put a shout out to people that are practice swing specialists because I've got a beautiful practice swing.
Yeah.
But when I move up to the ball, I end up like swinging right around and both legs are facing to where I was going to hit it. I just think that we need to actually have some way where we can reward people for the practice swings.
I got an idea.
What's that?
Let's start up an alternative to the PGA, and it's the Practice Golf Association. So it's people, you play a whole round of golf just with practice. No ball.
Yeah.
No ball. And it's up to the crowd or the commentators to decide where that went.
It's like gymnastics where you have a bunch of people and they go, they hold up 130 meters. That's on the green.
Or maybe it's just how you look. So you do one drive, one fairway shot, and one putt, and how you look, and then you get an overall score.
Yeah, because you know that guy Ed Lee, the BBC commentator.
Yes, and commentated on the ACC at the Jossie Wells Big Air.
Absolutely fantastic New Zealander, but he used to be the air guitar champion of the world.
Yeah, do you know how he won? Did you know his winning performance on that air guitar?
There was some jizz involved, wasn't there?
Yeah, he had he dressed up as a giant penis, and he had an air guitar, but he also had some hydraulics equipped into the back of his suit and up to the helmet of his penis. And his grand finale was going to the front of the stage and just doing this, and just loads of foam and semen just squirted out the helmet of his costume, and he won the world championships.
Did you know I interviewed him for MTV Europe all those years ago, and I had no idea who he was. I was just interviewing the air guitar champion of the world, and I thought he was really funny.
It's one of the greats.
It was an off-camera interview. I was off camera, but one of the greats. My point is, if there can be an air guitar world champion, why can't there be a practice swing golf world champion?
Yeah, PGA. We might have to change. PGA might have a few.
There's more
copyright
glory.
things.
If a couple of terrible practice swings than just a perfect fucking tracer bullet drive. More satisfying, I would say.
Great time, though, the ACC Opens. We've got 3 more. We've got Wellington, which is sold out. We've got Dunedin, which is a few spaces in Dunedin. We're at the Targo Golf Club down there. And then we've got Te in Tauranga, which is also sold out. But
Te Thunder.
Yeah, so look out for it. We're going to announce some new dates for those ACC Opens. They're a great time.
They're a great time.
Exports all around the course. Lasagna, Toppa, burgers at the start. It's one of the greats.
And considering the good time I had when I think I had one good shot in the whole day.
Oh, you did. It was a great up and down from you, actually.
Yeah,
right next to the pin.
Yeah.
Good man to have on a...
Really doing terrible things to angels.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You were angel molesting.
Yeah, it's horrific.
There's a lot of... Yeah.
It actually might be some charges coming for that.
Attendance required for you. It's pretty obvious.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. I think there's some Super Smash going on. I think potentially Canterbury and Northern Districts are in the men's final, I think. I haven't really followed that to a great deal. If you want to actually get all the nerd details, tune into the BYC podcast for that one. But I agree, Super Bowl Monday, 12:30. It's all on. And also
live from Arizona, State Farm Stadium.
That's right. Hey, also just a quick one. We've dug around in the vast ACC wardrobe. It's quite a significant wardrobe of suits and shirts and jerseys. And we've dug out the original blazer worn by Lee Hart during that Cricket World Cup Remember the infamous Cricket World Cup?
You found that one?
Yeah, we found it. And it's still got all these unusual stains. And it smells of Lehart. You know that musky kind of
it's beautiful smell.
Manly smell.
Yeah, it's
anyway,
so manly.
We're going to give it away.
Are we?
Yeah, we are.
The original. This is one of the original.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
So perfect for a pool room because you're never going to get it into the house because your wife or partner is going to go, get that fucking thing out of here. But the respect you will get from your mates when you got it in the garage or wherever.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is text Blazer.
Have we got like an exorcist or anyone? Or is
yeah,
there
we're going to have to do something to it before
we'll have to consult
maybe an
with Iwi before we put that into any house. So it's pretty... Yeah,
all you have to
some
do is,
demons in there.
All you have to do is sign up to be an ACC insider. To do that, just text Blazer, that's with a Z, to 3236. You'll get all the details. Sign up to the ACC insider because once you do, we send you heaps of specials from the ACC shop as well as kind of news and updates and ticket offers and shit like that. But now it's time for...
Toppa Plays of the Week. Brought to you by Leader NZ's Lasagna Toppa.
So, number 3, and this again was something that was all over my social media feed. The guy in Australia who went to fill up his boat and instead of putting the petrol into the petrol hole, he put it into the rod holder, which obviously...
So that's just going to go straight
into the boat. And the interesting thing about this, and so Australian, is first of all, he left it and went inside and got a coffee or did a shit or whatever and like put $500 worth of gas into that rod holder. But then he came out and was like, oh shit. And he turned the bilge pump on. Now you turn something electrical on that is housed in your back of your boat, where usually it's designed to get rid of water, but you've got a flammable, highly flammable liquid, and you've got an electrical device there, and the guy's like, don't put the fucking bilge on! Turn it off! And then there's some dude with a hose trying to hose it down the drain.
That's dumb.
But he handled it pretty well. He goes, mate, that's a pretty expensive mistake. Anyway, it reminded me of Zoolander. You know, in Zoolander, when it wake me up before you go. And they're all spraying each other with petrol and then they all get blown up. Yeah. Anyway, so number 2, this piece of audio from the South African T20 League about the stud Jimmy Neesham.
Oh, you've done it again! You've done it again and again! I can't believe this! Jimmy Neesham, what do you have for food?
Jimmy Neesham.
What do you
have for food? It's not the saying. It's what did you have for breakfast or what's in the water, but what did you have for food?
Well, I know what llamas have for food, alpacas have for food. They like apples, carrots, broccoli stalks, and parsnips.
Who doesn't?
Like I mentioned on the Hodaki breakfast, they need to be chopped up in little bits, otherwise they'll choke.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah,
so you think it was the parsnip that enabled him to take an absolute screamer in the gully?
Yeah, broccoli stalks potentially as well. They're good for you. Got plenty of protein in broccoli stalks.
I love the footage of that because it's one of those catches where the person that's caught it hasn't even registered that they've caught it. He's so surprised. He's celebrating like he's watched it.
Yeah.
He goes, whoa, because to catch... there's no way that you'd spend any time thinking. It's got to be just pure
instinct.
reaction time.
It's instinct. But, I mean, obviously, that's the second one he's taken in gully. That's why... Is that Mbangwa who's commentating there? I don't know. But that's why he loses his fucking mind.
Yeah.
But he loses his way at the end there with the food.
Yeah.
What do you get for food?
What do you have for food?
It's very Arnold Schwarzenegger get to the chopper.
Yeah. Do you think there could be an absolute scenes? We've got to remember that in the ACC.
Yeah.
If anything happens, that's good. What does he have for food? In fact, we need to have that on a button bar.
Yeah, absolutely. What?
Jimmy Neesham.
Every time Jimmy Neesham hits a 6 or does anything, we'll just play that audio. What do you have?
Has anyone asked Jimmy Neesham yet? When he comes back to the country, we've got to get him on and ask him, what do you have for food? That's one question.
But don't... you don't ask him. I think Pommy and Mbangwa should ask him via the
We've got you in for an interview, Jimmy. The stud. Some people say you look like an alpaca. We've got one question.
And then just play that. What do you have for food?
And then he can just go into details of what kind of diet he's on and all that kind of stuff.
And the number 1 topper player of the week is the ginormous F-bomb dropped by LeBron James after his LA Lakers game in which he broke the all-time scoring record.
Man, everybody that's ever been a part of this run with me the last 20 years, 20 plus years, I just want to say I thank you so much because I wouldn't be me without y'all. All y'all help, all y'all passion, all y'all sacrifices helped me get to this point. And to the NBA, to Adam Silver, to the late, great David Stern, I thank you guys so much for allowing me to be a part of something I've always dreamed about. And I would never, ever in a million years dreamt this even better than what it is tonight. So, fuck, man. Thank you, guys.
It was so good. It was so good. It was so good. He nailed it. And the NBA would have been going, oh, fuck, he's
a pro. He's
a PR
He's
pro.
great on the mic.
Look at him. He's thanked all the right people, even the late, great David Stern. He's done all this. And then he's just...
There's moments in history where no one cares. And like I talk about this a bit, but if we go to, got the Eagles, but the Phillies, when they won the World Series, and Chase Utley, my favourite baseball player of all time,
he
did that speech. He said, world champions. World fucking champions. Not a single complaint from anyone because the history of the moment is so large that people, if you've done nothing, like if Simon Dello opened the news with, so anyways, the fucking one news, you're going to get in trouble. But if you've just highest point score of all time, you've got an F-bomb. Yeah. You've got an F-bomb. You win the World Series, you're allowed an F-bomb.
Yeah, we won the World Test Championship. We dropped numerous F-bombs during that celebration. We were pulling off Jason Hoyt's shirt, spraying champagne and going, world champions! World fucking champions!
Yeah, if Kane Williamson's interview had said, how fucking good, I don't think there'd been a complaint.
If he'd said, how fucking good, that would have been turned into a T-shirt and a meme.
Yeah.
For eternity. Because that would have been so unexpected to come out of Steady the Ship's mouth.
And you'd know the magnitude because he's so responsible and brilliant. But if he just sat down in the press conference and said...
How fucking good.
Well, how fucking good.
Yeah, I have a feeling Tim Southey would have.
Yeah, he would.
He would have been hammered as well.
And there wouldn't have been a single complaint from even the most uptight person in the world.
And if you do have a complaint, then you can send it to us directly on our Instagram, the ACC NZ, DM us, or Facebook. You're more than welcome. But what we do encourage you to do is go on to wherever you get your podcasts, iHeartradio or Spotify, Apple, wherever. Rate us, slag us off. 5-star rating would be good, and then you can slag us off. So even if you hate the podcast, still give us 5 stars, then slag us off. And then if we read out your comment, we'll chuck you some free kit. Maybe a Black Cap supporter T-shirt.
Yeah, make sure you follow or click that plus thing so you get all subscribe, whatever you do.
Oh, yeah, whatever all that stuff. See you later.
See you later. Miss a fucking episode.
See you later.
Out.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast. For more episodes, subscribe on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.